Katie Rose Curtis, and you're listening to Unrehearsed. So, last summer, I blew up a pineapple with an assault rifle. It was an excellent time. It was something I'd actually been wanting to do for maybe half a year. I was actually hoping to blow up a watermelon because I figured that would be more explosive. But anyway, so it was the end of our camping trip, and our godfather is crazy. So he offered to do it with us at his house. So we went over to their house in Maine, and they have a couple blueberry bushes. And so we stuck around, ate blueberries, picked blueberries, ate more blueberries. It was a good time. And then my godmother brought out a pineapple. And my godfather went and got his assault rifle. And we put the pineapple in a tree. And we each took turns shooting at it. And I wasn't actually the one who blew it up, but it was my first time shooting a gun, so that was fun. And so I broke pieces off of it, but my dad was actually the one who blew it up, and he just hit the sweet spot somehow, and it just went everywhere. It was beautiful. Until a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, I had a horrifying thought. My thought was that we have so much food in this country that we don't have to give a second thought to just wasting it, blowing it up. Granted, the pineapple was rotten, but I can imagine there are probably some people in other countries who would possibly literally kill for a rotting pineapple. So that was my horrifying thought. And a question we talked about in one of my classes today was, how much of that are we entitled to? How much privilege or comfort are we entitled to? Is it right? Is it allowed for us to destroy a pineapple when other people could use that for food? I've tried being vegetarian twice. It didn't really work either time. I like chicken too much. The first time I tried, I don't remember why, but the second time was because I watched this horrifying documentary called Earthlings, and basically the producers of the film took hidden cameras into all kinds of places where basically animals were being abused in various ways, like big production animal farms, like slaughterhouses, and but even beyond that, like puppy farms, puppy mills, the clothing industry and things like that. And it was so horrifying that I had to go vegetarian. And I did it for maybe 2 months. This was the second time around. I did it for maybe 2 months, and I was starving all the time. And I was grumpy, and because I have epilepsy, I think my symptoms were worse because I wasn't getting enough protein. So I had to start eating meat again, which kind of bothered me. But, it is what it is. But it's hard because there's an ethical question there. Where's the boundary? Where do I... Because I was surviving, and I was just having a hard time with it. Because I was busy, I didn't have enough time to prepare things that would fill me up, and I was eating kind of crappy food, and I just eat so much better when I eat meat. So the question there is, if I took the time to really make sure I ate well as a vegetarian or vegan, is it better? Does it really even solve the problem? Because even though I'm a vegetarian, the majority of people, at least in America, aren't. So, does my being vegetarian stop these practices from happening? I didn't used to pray before I ate, but I recently started doing it. Probably a year or two ago I started doing it because well, for starters, I just wanted to pray more, and that just kind of gave me an excuse. But I started doing it because I found myself thinking a lot of times if I was really hungry, when I first sat down to eat something, I would have this thought in my head that whatever I was eating was my favorite food. And I said that about a lot of things, and I thought at first that maybe I was just indecisive. But then I realized that there was something very spiritual about food. And I'm not entirely sure what it is. But I guess the thought I was having, or the feeling I was having, that whatever I was eating was my favorite food, was more that I was very thankful for what I was eating and for having food. And I feel like it's something that can be overlooked or sort of forgotten, because I pray every night when I go to sleep, and I try to remember to pray for things throughout the day, but for the longest time I was overlooking the food thing. Hey, this was Katie Rose Curtis on Unrehearsed, and every week I'll be featuring a new topic. So the topic for next week is posted in the description below, and I would love it if you guys would send me emails with ideas for topics, or little snippets of stories, audio or text, and you can send that to unrehearsedaudio@gmail.com, and you can also like my Facebook page. It's Unrehearsed Audio on Facebook. So, hope you enjoyed this, and have a good night.